Well, you see, I'm well rested, I'm well invested, and I'm enjoying playing some baseball with you guys. So we've got games 3 and 4 in this stream of the Community Baseball Replay Project between the Baltimore Orioles and the Chicago White Sox. Being that we had so much fun with games 1 and 2, which neither was close, but boy, were they wild. Let me just get set. For those of you tuning in for the first time or the last time, my name is Joe. This is JC Sports Replays, where we play lots of different things, but an awful lot of baseball, because that's my first and foremost love when it comes to, when it comes to what's happening here. It was all set up. I didn't move a thing. And I don't want to move a thing. When it comes to tabletop sports, I love them all, but baseball is my first and foremost love, to be very honest with you. All right, so a little bit of height there. Just the tiniest bit of more height. Why does it look like you got closer, Bob? What the fuck is going on? Un momento, por favor. Someday I'm going to have a really good camera mount, and we're not going to have this problem anymore. But right now, we have this problem. So we're going to get it figured out. Every time we start a stream, we have to get the camera set. And it sucks. All right. I don't know why. We have a completely different perspective this time. It's like the camera is zoomed in more or something. It's very strange. No, this is terrible. What the fuck is happening? Well, that's the whole table if you were wondering what's going on over there. All right, that might be a little bit better. Mm-hmm. We're almost there. All right. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, guys. So if you missed the first 2 games, go back and watch the stream because it was wild. Lots of homers. And Ron Kittle in our last game went 4 for 5 with 3 homers, and including a grand slam and 8 runs batted in. But here in game 3, we've got Baltimore at Chicago again. It's going to be Storm Davis. In the project, he is 7-6, 2.71. Going up against Britt Burns, 5-6, 3.05. So Davis is pitching a little bit better than expected. Burns is pitching way better than expected. In fact, he had 4 wins in real life and has 5 already in this project. So should be interesting to see how the rest of his season goes if he comes back to the norm. Meanwhile, we've got a couple of brand new subs in this game. At designated hitter for Baltimore, it's Benny Ayala, who's hitting 204 with 2 homers and 4 RBIs. And making his first appearance in our stream today, it's Todd Cruz, 185, 2 homers, 5 RBIs. The only brand new sub in this game for Chicago is Jerry Hairston, who's at 204 with 1 homer and 5 ribbies. So this is 2 games actually in the 1984 Community Replay Project, which you can find on Facebook. I'm one of the admins there, along with Joe Cards and Kevin Thomas. We're just about cresting into. Actually, this is the last game for me in in June. This is June 30th, 1984. You can play any game engine you want as long as it's statistically viable. And you just pick a few games off the project and play them out and record the stats at cardanddicebaseball.com. So we're having a lot of fun with it. I finally got back to it after a long layoff, and I'm really enjoying the games today. So here we are. It is Britt Burns on the mound against Mike Young, the switch hitter. And the ump says play ball. We'll kick things off. We're going to move rather quickly through these games, but I hope you don't mind. I play a lot of games on Sundays, and I like to get them in. And 4 is a patient 66 against the lefty is, oh, that gets too far inside, rides in on Young, and that hits him. So to start the game off, hit by pitch. Now we had the bench was cleared, but too much, to no outcome in the last game. We had a hit by pitch. Baltimore hit Chicago, and I think they actually hit Mark Hill, the catcher. And benches cleared, but no punches were thrown. And eventually order was restored, and we continued the game. Well, Mike Young is an auto steal 3. 4 won't do it. And that'll bring up John Shelby, who batted leadoff the first 2 games. They're switching it up here against the lefty Burns. 6-19, tough pitch, and down on strikes is Shelby for the first out. That'll bring up Cal Ripken. Ripken having an all-star caliber season thus far. But a 4.68 patient. And his patient ends at 67, so 68 is going to be a ground ball to second base, and that's a low enough number. It's going to be a, Burns only gets double plays on a 5, but the 4 will do it. A 4 to 6 to 3, inning-ending double play. Nothing doing for Baltimore in the first. And Davis will take the mound. Davis pitching about where you'd expect him to be. 2.71 ERA thus far. He's 3.12 in real life. And here's Rudy Law. 5.93 in play. Lofted to right. No problem. 1 away. Here's Jerry Hairston. 8.01. Tough. And down on strikes is Hairston. One of the nice things about any game engine is you get really familiar with the likely results. So like the stolen bases, the outcomes based on defensive checks, and also the lower high rolls on most of the outcomes, whether it's tough, in-play, patient, wheelhouse, or ballpark. I have a pretty good idea of. If you're wondering, Comiskey is a pretty good hitter's park for lefties. 1 to 92 wheelhouse for lefties, 1 to 58 for righties. So left-handed batters have a pretty good power advantage here. Speaking of which, here's Harold Baines with 2 outs. 8.01. Tough pitch, and another 0-1. That's second straight strikeout for Davis. So a 1-2-3 inning. And we'll go to the second, no score. Burns will face. Eddie Murray. 8.72 in play, and that's going to be grounded to second. No problem there for Julio Cruz, and Murray is retired for the first out. Brings up Gary Renicky. 10-26 ballpark chance. 26 righty is a wheelhouse chance for Renicky. He's got a pretty good wheelhouse. But not that good. 81 is going to be a fly ball to center. Rudy Law is there, and that's the second out of the inning. Here's Benny Ayala making his stream debut. 11.70, that's a tough pitch. I threw my pen because that's a fly ball to center as well. A 1-2-3 inning for Burns. We'll go to the bottom of the second, still no score. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Giants are off this week, so I'm just getting in some extra gaming time. Might watch a football game later. So here's Greg Walker against Storm Davis. How about a 6.74 in play? Lofted this one to center. Shelby's there, and Walker is retired. Here's Ronnie Kittle, 7.68 patient, and grounded down to second, where Dower handles it over to Murray for the out. Kittle retired. Kittle, of course, coming off a 3-homer game. Mark Hill, 5.44 It's in play and grounded down to first, where Murray will take it himself. Another 1-2-3 for Davis. Off to a good start here, both pitchers. Here's Britt Burns. To face the bottom of the order, Rayford, Dower, and Cruz. Rayford with a 403. Patient 03 should be a walk, and it is. So Rayford's on. Auto steal 2F. No auto steal today. Thank goodness. You don't want the F guy going, but they do sometimes. One of the things I like about payoff pitches, the auto steal keeps stolen bases and caught stealing in line. I would never, ever, in Stratomatic, try to steal with Rayford, but using the auto steal and payoff pitch makes sure that once in a while he'll go, and sometimes the F guys even make it in safely. So here's Dower. 770. That's a tough pitch. Grounded down to second. Could be 2. It is not going to be, though, that 1 on the 4-6. Dower will reach on the fielder's choice. And he's also an auto steal of 2. 7 says nothing doing. He's not even thinking about it. And here's Todd Cruz. Cruz making his first at bat of today's streams. 986. That's a tough. Ground ball to short. 9 won't do it either. They'll go 6-4 for the fielder's choice again. And Cruz is on with 2 outs. He's a 3 on the auto steal, but still an F. Burns steps off, and Cruz back to the bag. Here's Mike Young. How about a 733 tough pitch and down? Oops, holding lefty. Down on strikes. So 1 walk, 1 left. When it's all said and done, Burns gets through the third with no score. We said we might be due for a pitcher's duel. Let's not jinx it, but looking good so far. After, the first 2 games, we had a combined total of, 10, 14, 18, 33 runs in the first 2 games. Damn sight of homers. More than 10 homers. I know that. Here's Scott Fletcher. Davis delivers 11-26. His ballpark chance 26, and Comiskey's going to be wheelhouse no matter what side you bat from, but an 80 against a righty is going to be a fly ball to center field, though. And Shelby has no problem with it for the first out. Here's Law, 9-22 in play. And there's the first base hit for Chicago. Law chops one through the left side, and he's on at first with 1 out single. Davis throws over. Courtesy throw, and Law reduces his lead. Here's Cruz. 2 Cruzes in the game today, Julio and Todd. I don't believe they're related, but I could be wrong. Patient 23. Well, Cruz lays off the low breaking pitch. And it'll be first and second with 1 down. Here's Rudy Law, who is related to Vance Law, by the way. 966. I believe they're brothers. Ground ball to shortstop. That's going to get 1. They'll go 6-4 the short way, no throw to first, and Law is on with a fielder's choice. So first and third now with 2 outs. I don't do the auto steal in that situation because it doesn't make sense. And here's Hairston. 640 in play. This one's tapped back to the pitcher, picked up by Davis and over to first, and that's the inning. So 2 left, no runs, and after 3 we have a scoreless game. Every 3 innings I like to take a sip of something. Well, we're back. It'll be Shelby, Ripken, and Murray. Set to face Burns, the lefty. Shelby bats from the right side, switch hitter today. Well, he's always a switch hitter. He's batting from the right today. 10-96 ballpark. This one's going to be an in-play chance. 32 is going to be a pop-up on the infield. Over is the first baseman Walker, and that's the first out. Here's Ripken, grounded into a double play his first time up. 7-29, tough pitch, and Ripken with a bouncing ball through the right side. So Ripken on with a base hit. He's a 1. It's the first time he gets on base, he's a 2, and the rest of the time his auto is a 1. So he does not get on. Means the best he can do is steal once per game if he gets on base. That's what they do for guys with a high success rate but very few stolen bases. So Ripken has like 2 steals on the season in real life. So they want to limit him. I don't think he got caught, so they want to make sure he doesn't end up stealing a bunch of bases, giving him a high success rate. It's a pretty clever mechanic. But anyway, the pitch from Burns to Murray is an 11:43. Murray batting right. That's a tough pitch. And Murray handles tough pitches very well. A line drive, a base hit into left field. And it'll be first and second with 1 out for Gary Renicky. Renicky flew out to center his first time up. That's a 7. Tough, 68. Ground ball to second base. Once again, not going to turn it. So Ripken over to third. Murray with the force. And Renicky on with a fielder's choice. So now there's 2 down, runners on first and third for Ayala. Ayala really only plays against lefties. Well, and he's got a 482. Patient. And a ground ball to shortstop. Will end the inning. And once again, 2 left. But no score. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Here's Baines. How about an 881? Tough pitch. Fly ball to center. Shelby corrals it, and Baines is retired for the first out. Here's Walker. Tough pitch, 99 against the righty. Babe's watching TV in the background. Don't worry about the laughter. I don't have a crazy person locked up in my house. She's just watching TV with her headphones on. She's watching Ink Master, actually. She just got into it. Never heard of it before. And discovered it like it's a newborn baby. Here's Kittle, who's been on a hot streak. 742, patient. And Kittle, with a liner into right center. That's going to get down into the gap. Kittle around first on his way to second. The throw comes in, but it's cut off. And Ron Kittle has himself a 2-out double. Nothing doing on the auto. Not a lot of stolen base guys at all for Chicago. And here's Mark Hill. 903. That's an in play, and this could be trouble. This will get down in the left field gap. All the way to the wall. Kittle scores. The throw comes in. Hill decides to stop at second, and it's 1-0 White Sox on back-to-back doubles by Kittle and Hill. Neither of these teams in contention. Both well under 500 and well out of it right now. But they're playing for pride, and it's still early in the season. A hot streak can get you close. There's Fletcher. Runner on second, 2 down. It's a 5:46 in play. And this one's going to be grounded down to first, where Murray takes it himself. So 1 left, but the damage is done. Back-to-back doubles leads to a 1-0 Chicago lead as we go to the 5th inning. If you've never played Payoff Pitch, I highly recommend it. And if you have played Payoff Pitch, play it again. It's my game of choice at this point. 449. Patient. Grounded down to third, where it'll be handled by Law. Over to first in time to retire Rayford 1 away. Here's Dower. 11:34. Tough pitch. Pops it up on the infield. No problem for Walker, and there's 2 down. And here's Cruz. 682. Tough pitch again, and this one is grounded to short, where it'll be handled by Fletcher. A 1-2-3 inning for Burns. Pitching very well. It doesn't even make sense, Bob. You know what does help Burns? He does not give up a lot of homers. So if he can keep it in the park and avoid giving up too many walks, he'll be in good shape. Here's Vance Law with the White Sox leading 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Law's 1 for 1. But a 971. That's an in play and ground ball to second. Dower handles over to first, and Law is out by a half step. That's 1. Here's Cruz, a 493. Tough pitch. And this one will be lofted to left field, where Renicky takes it like a can of corn off the top shelf. 2 down. And that'll bring up Rudy Law, who's 0 for 2. 739 patient. And he's not 0 for 2 anymore. This one is tomahawked into the gap. Going in right center, it is over the center fielder's head. 1 hops the wall. Around second is Law on his way to third, and he'll be in there with a stand-up 2-out triple. Rudy Law with a 3-bagger. And the White Sox threatening with 2 outs as Hairston comes up. Hairston 0 for 2. 699, probably nothing. In play, fly ball left. No problem for Reneke. So the triple goes for naught. You can't sack fly a guy in with 2 outs. And we'll go to the 6th inning with a 1-0 Chicago lead. Didn't quite make it 3 before I wanted a drink. Now here's Mike Young leading off. He's hit by a pitch and struck out today. 764, that's a tough. And lofted to right field where it'll be handled by Baines. 1 down. Here's Shelby 0 for 2. Struck out and grounded out. 630, tough pitch. Down on strikes. For the 2nd time today is John Shelby. And Burns is looking fabulous. Here's Ripken. He's 1 for 2. 850 in play, and that 50 is going to be a grounder to first. It'll be handled by the first baseman, who is Greg Walker, and flipped to Burns for the out. So another 1-2-3 for Burns. And this is one of those people who maybe the way he's carded, or maybe Burns just likes to pitch and pay off pitch. Well, here's Davis to pitch to Baines. Baines is 0 for 2. 633 in play. This is a base hit for Baines. A line drive through the right side, and Baines will hold it first with the single. He's a 1 stealer as well, so he gets 1 shot since it's his first time on base. He gets a 3, not a 2. And here's Walker. 12. This is a patient 13. And Walker lays off. That pitch just missed, and he'll draw a walk. So 1st and 2nd now with nobody out. And here comes the dangerous Ron Kittle. Kittle, if you're wondering, hit 32 homers in real life and 3 just yesterday. 1104, one-time Yankee. Is it future Yankee? I think it's future Yankee in 1984. Ballpark 04. This is trouble. This is a wheelhouse chance for Kittle. And against a righty, he's 1-72 to leave the yard. 89 will not do it, but he's got a long single to left field. He goes all the way up to 96 on his wheelhouse. Baines will score. Walker to 3rd. And Kittle makes it 2-0. So now it's 1st and 3rd. They're looking for infield set at double play depth. And here's Mark Hill. Hill's doubled today. 807, that's a tough pitch, and Hill is down on strikes. Just watches that breaking ball go by. Froze him at the knees. So now there's an out, and now a double play will get him out of it. Scott Pletcher, not easy to double off, though. Very speedy. Runs well. How about a 925? That's another in play. And this one's a base hit. That'll get the run from 3rd home. Kittle stops at 2nd. And Fletcher with an RBI single. That is a 3-0 game for Chicago now. Well, 1st and 2nd with 1 out. And here's the pitch to Law. 738, patient. And this one's in the gap. That's going to score a run. I need to find the hit location here because this could be a choice. An 8. I don't do this often, but opposite field liner into left, right. So that's a liner into right. The arm of the right fielder, Mike Young. Oops, those are the reserves, pardon me. Mike Young's got a 9 arm in right. That is not good. So who's the speed of the runner at 3rd is Fletcher. I think it's only a 6, though. Fletcher's running as a 6, so we're going to go for choice here. It's an 8, so it is going to be choice. 46, I think he's going to be nailed. Oh, it could be wild. It could be wild. Roll 1d6 higher than the outfielder's E rating to throw as wild, otherwise on target and late. Either way, he's going to be safe. That's kind of weird. Well, that's definitely higher than the outfielder's E rating on a 6. So, wild and off the mark. Trailing runners advance if next base is open. So I don't think that's an error, to be honest with you. I think they're going to give him. I think the key here is the trailing runner advances. So that's a 2 RBI double for Vance Law as the throw is offline. I don't read that as an error. I just read that as a failed attempt at gunning down the runner at home. And they put 4 runs in against Davis this inning. Law ends up on third base. And it's 5-0. And looks like they're gonna let him pitch to Cruz. 8-78. There goes our pitcher's duel. Tough. Fly ball to center. This could be deep enough. Law is speedy. And he will tag and come home, and that's the 6th run, and that's where they're going to pull Storm Davis. So Cruz with a sac fly. Storm Davis is done. It is 6-0. And it's one of the interesting things when you play with terrible teams. The pitching's not great, and things can go awry quickly. Storm Davis has a pretty damn good card, though. Well, this is not where Baltimore wants to be, the way the bullpens have been used in this one, but they're going to go to Tom Underwood. Going to go to Underwood. So Davis goes 5 2/3, pardon me. As Underwood comes in to pitch to Rudy Law with 2 outs and nobody on. Oh, actually, so his line is closed. Let's just look at Davis's line real quick. 1 hit, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. 6 runs. I believe they're all earned. They are. 2 Ks, 1 walk. 1 walk and 3 Ks. And Underwood will come in and try to get the Law out to end this 6th. How about a 491 in play, and that should be it. Grounded to second. So 8 men come to the plate. 5 runs come home, and it is 6-0 White Sox after 6. Now don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, I'm at 299 subscribers. Spread the word about a really, really decent channel. That being Digital to Dice Podcast, Dave Gardner. But if you like my channel too, you can subscribe. I don't mind. Also, you guys should, a couple of my favorites, folks. Check out Mike Terranova if you get a chance. Also, Baseball Replay Journal, I believe, is the guy. Dan Evanson. Up there, very, very high. And who do I watch a lot of? Oh, my buddy Kevin Thomas. I tune into from time to time. He streams a lot of different stuff. He's an infrequent streamer, just like I am. I'm trying to work on that, though. I'm thinking about making my motto, if I'm gaming, I'm streaming. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, here's Eddie Murray, as the Orioles are going to try to get something going against Britt Burns. They've had no luck thus far against the lefty. Murray batting right is 1 for 2 on the day. It's 11:49. Tough pitch. And that's out of his range. And that's going to be a grounder down to first. Handled by Walker, and Murray's retired. My wife thinks Eddie Murray's pretty funny. She thought I said Murphy. 401, patient. And that's a base on balls to Renicky. So Renicky's on. No auto steals with a 6-run deficit. And here's Benny Ayala, who's 0 for 2. 6:39, another tough pitch, and Ayala's down on strikes. So 2 down here for Burns in the 7th. And we will be having a second game after this one, folks, if you're interested. Here's Floyd Rayford. Runner on first 2 down. Rayford's 0 for 1 today with a walk. 9:59. Tough pitch, and his tough goes to 58, if you can see that. This is a fly ball to right field. Roaming over his Baines near the line, and makes the catch for the final out of the inning. So 1 walk, 1 left. And Burns continues to cruise. He's allowed no runs through 7. And here's Underwood coming out for the Orioles to face Hairston, Baines, and Walker. Here's Hairston, 0 for 3 so far. How about a 3-0-2? Defense check, that's going to be on the pitcher range. Underwood's fielding is a C, and 88 should be fine. Yeah, he would need a 37 or less to get a hit, so The 7 is a grounder back to Underwood, flips over to first, and plenty of time to retire Hairston. 1 away. Feel free to chat me up, folks. I don't mind. Or just shut up and watch. Here's Harold Baines. 1 for 3. I know the broadcast is impeccably timed. Why would you want to interrupt me? 983. But hey, I'm here to socialize if you want. That's a fly ball to center field. John Shelby covers a lot of ground out there and has no problem with this one. For the second out, here's Greg Walker. 0 for 2. A walk and a run scored. 6:59. Tough pitch. And lofted out to left field. It'll be Renicky there. Freezes in place and takes it in. So a 1-2-3 for Underwood. That'll be it for him, by the way. They try to manage a beleaguered bullpen. Bullpen? Yes. 1.1 innings for Underwood, and he allowed no runners. But he'll be fatigued if we let him go any further, so. In any case, Burns will come out with a 6-0 lead to pitch to Dower, Cruz, and Young in the 8th. Here's Dower, 0 for 2 today. 878. In play, left-hander. Fly ball to center field. This one is handled by Law of the Rudy variety, not the Vance variety. Vance Law did not run all the way out from third base to make the play in center, just so you know. He's no Tom Verizon. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back a few streams. You'll have fun. Here's Todd Cruz, 0 for 2 today. 699, a tough pitch. Fly ball to left field. Ron Kittle is there. Yes, they let Ron Kittle play the outfield sometimes. It's terrifying for everyone, but he's there and he makes the catch. Here's Mike Young, 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch today, having a 903. Down on strikes is Young. So, I don't know what somebody put in Britt Burns' coffee today, but it's working. We're going to need somebody to clean up an inning for Baltimore in all likelihood. You know, it's not going to be Martinez. It could be him. I think they're going to go Sammy Stewart. They want Martinez for a closer game if that happens. And they're hoping the next one's closer than this one. 6-0 Chicago as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Stewart in for the Orioles to pitch to Kittle, who's got 2 more hits today and 2 runs scored. Has not left the park yet, though. Patient 95. It looks like he won't. This one is lofted to left, but in plenty of space for Gary Renicky for the first out of the inning. Here's Mark Hill. 11:44 is going to be ballpark. 44, doesn't matter which side you are. Wheelhouse chance for Hill. 0-2. That is trouble, folks, against a right-handed batter. And Mark Hill gets a hold of this one. He's doubled today, and now he's put this one into the left field seats about 4 rows deep to make it 7-0 Chicago. And that'll bring up Scott Fletcher with 1 out. 7:31 to pitch, and a base hit. A chopping ground ball through the left side for Fletcher. And he's on at first with a single. No auto steal, big lead. Just trying to get through this one. But these guys are thinking about contracts. It just feels good to play good baseball, doesn't it, Chicago? 10:59. Patient. Fly ball to right. No problem there for the right fielder Young. And there's 2 down for Cruz. Here's Julio. Don't call me Joe. 4-11 as Patient and Cruz walks with 2 outs. No matter what happens, Sammy Stewart will not be leaving this game. Just so you know. There's no action in the bullpen, and Rudy Law is coming up. Tripled today, 1 for 4. 667, how about an in play? Grounder to short, that should do it. Ripken over to first in time, but the homer makes it a 7-0 game. And Britt Burns will come out and pitch the 9th, vying for a shutout. Who's he going to face? Well, he's going to face Shelby, Ripken, and Murray, so if you wanted to get anything going, it's a good time for Baltimore. Otherwise, they might as well just wait till tomorrow. John Shelby 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts today. That's a 3 patient, so he won't strike out. It is a 70. That's grounded down to second base. Julio Cruz is there, over to first, in plenty of time to retire Shelby for the first out here in the top of the ninth. Here's Cal Ripken. Got a base hit today, 1 for 3. 568. Patient, and once again, 67 is his patient range. 68 means another grounder to second, where Cruz takes it strong throw to get Ripken by a couple of steps. And the Orioles are down to their final out. Burns looking to close this one out against Eddie Murray, who's 1 for 3 today. Murray, a tough hitter, not likely to give up even in this situation. 327, and he lays off, draws a base on balls, and Burns is visibly frustrated, actually. He's like, come on, man, you trying to work a walk with a 7-run deficit? Well, that's how you get comebacks, folks, with base runners. Here's Renicky, 0 for 2 with a walk. 859, that's an in play. This should do it. Fly ball right field, ranging over near the line and coming in a few steps is Baines. He puts it away, and that'll be the ball game. Britt Burns with a spectacular game today. He goes the full distance as opposed to the half distance. 9 innings pitched, no runs allowed. We'll take a look at his complete line in just a moment as we do some card shuffling and get ready for Game 4 of this series, which Baltimore will have to win to split the series. Let me just get a little set. Get a little closer. Don't be shy. I have to shuffle some cards around, and then we'll check the lineups for game number 4. But first, we have to put a finishing touch on this one. So bear with me a few moments, folks. This is a great time to grab a drink, go to the bathroom, consider a new line of work. All of those things are viable in the few minutes it'll take me to set up game number 4. Well, let's take a look first at Stewart. Stewart went 1 inning, gave up 2 hits, a homer, and a walk. 1 an earned run and a walk, no strikeouts. The loss here goes to Davis. And Britt Burns will get the win. He goes 9, no runs, no earned. How many hits? Oh, he did hit a guy to lead off the game. That's probably what started it. He hit Mike Young, and everybody was scared of him from there on out. But anyway, 1, 2. I got scared for a second. I saw no hits the first 3 innings. I was like, wait a minute. Is that it? He gave up 2 hits in the 4th, folks. And that was it for Britt Burns, a 2-hitter. The only time they got through to him was back-to-back singles by Ripken and Murray in the 4th. A few walks, though. Let's see. Well, there's a strikeout. 0-1, 1-1, 1-2. 1-3, 2-3, 2-4, 2-5. 3 walks and 5 strikeouts for Britt Burns as he improves to 6-6 on the season and lowers his ERA a little bit. Davis will fall to 7-7. No shame there. We should record the final score. For those of you at home, it is 7 for the White Sox and nothing for the Orioles. We move on to game number 4. Why do you stream, Joe? I just like talking to myself. Actually, I really enjoy sharing the content and sharing the games with the community. Hope you don't mind. You're like, we do mind. Please never stream again. I'm gonna do what I want to do. You can't make me. Well, I mean, you probably could, but please don't. I'm pretty chill, and I'd like to stay that way. All right. Well, it's going to be Boddicker on the mound for the Orioles. He's 8-4, 3.56, arguably their most successful pitcher so far this year. And we're going to have to take a look. In real life, he was 20-11 with a 2.79, so he's actually pitching a little worse than real life in this community replay project. So we're going to find Al Bumbry, the leadoff man, behind Boddicker. I think Bumbry making his stream debut as well. For this project, anyway. Now you've got Young, Ripken, Young, Ripken, thank you. Murray, those are consistent. Lowenstein is going to be in there. We get John Lowenstein into the game, left-hander. Wayne Gross coming back in. Took a day off against the lefty. Renicky will stay in. Len Sakata making his stream debut. playing second base. And Rick Dempsey will get the catching duties today. The Orioles seem to be in order. Let's take a look now at the White Sox, who make they do make some changes to their lineup, but nobody we haven't seen yet. So Lamar Hoyt is the guy, 13 and 18 in real life, a 4.47. What's up, John? You like what you do and how I do it. Thank you, sir. Greetings from the left coast. Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. And thanks for the kind words. Those always go a long way, even though you don't always know they do. Yeah, I like sharing things, brother. I like having a good time. If I can do this, anybody can do it, right? Doing it well, that's a different story, but hey, we give it a shot. So we got Rudy Law leading off today. Davinsky's coming back in to play shortstop and bat second. Harold Baines, the ever-present White Sox, batting third, followed by Walker and Kittle. Kittle will get some backup today with Lazinski back in the lineup. And the other Law brother, Vance Law, they should have had a 80s sitcom for sure. I don't know what they would have called it. In and out of Law? I don't know. Joel Skinner. I'm not in marketing. And Julio Cruz stays in the game and plays second and bats ninth. So, let me just get their bench reorganized. These guys are like, we're playing a fourth game today? Yes, you are. Don't you usually play other teams? Yes, I do, but not today. Actually, I did. I played 4 games before I streamed any of this. In my 1977 Payoff pitch replay, which I'm only about a week into. A calendar week, I should say. In fact, I think I'm on the 9th calendar day in that replay. So it'll be Boddicker versus Hoyt. Hoyt takes the mound. Gets ready to start things off against the Orioles. DJ John. Loving it, brother. All right. So Bunbury is, let's take a look at our Baltimore newcomers. All these stats are in the 1984 Community Replay Project, which you can find on Facebook. And you can participate if you like. Or you can just check things out. We have an all-star game coming up soon. We're going to figure that out. But here's Bunbury in center. 216, 1 homer, 10 RBIs. Also making their debut on stream today for the Orioles, John Lowenstein, a designated hitter, hitting 199 with 4 homers, 21 ribbies. And Len Sakata, 268, 1 homer, 2 RBIs. In limited play, obviously. Here's Hoyt. Lamar is 4-10 on the season. I don't know if anybody else in the league has lost 10 yet, but Lamar is doing his damnedest not to ever leave games until it's decided. Excuse me 1 second. I'm going to get up and blow my nose. I'll be right back. All this talking is loosening up the sinuses. All right.
You okay, hon?
I'm good.
Okay.
I just need to move.
Oh, yeah.
Blow my nose. Wife and dogs are hanging out in the room with me. My lovely wife has her earphones on. She's probably going to go to sleep. She's worked hard all morning on some stuff. She's watching Ink Master. Ink Master, her latest obsession. Is it an obsession, Bob, or is it just what she likes to do? That's a good point, sir. Let me just get this lined up correctly. I think that's pretty good. We checking. All right, so Whit takes the mound, finishes his warm up pitches, and we're ready to go in game 4 of this series. Baltimore needs the game to split the series. Neither team in contention here in July 1st, by the way, in 1984 replay. Where over 1,000 games have been played by more than 30 different tabletop community members on Facebook. That's pretty awesome. And I'm happy to be back and participating. Well, here's Al Bunbury. He'll lead things off for the Orioles, trying to get something going against the White Sox pitching. Britt Burns shut him down last game. That's a 5. Patient, 47 against a righty. And a base hit. Well, that's one way to start things off. Bunbury with a base hit. And he's a 3 stealer. A 5 won't do it. And lucky for him, because that 14 would be caught stealing every time. And that'll bring up Mike Young. Young might be in all-star contention this year. 895 in play, and that is lofted to left. Settling under it is Kittle. And he makes the catch for the first out. Not sure what I'm going to do after this. I could go back to my 77 replay, but I've been thinking about playing another game of Strat Basketball or season ticket football. Well, here's Cal Ripken. Runner on. 12 is wheelhouse, 43, and that's what they need. Baltimore with a big 2-run home run, and that's how 3 of these 4 games have started with 2-run homers in the first in the game, and both of those games were won by the team who did it. So good news for the Orioles as Cal Ripken cracks his 15th homer of the season, I do believe. Hold on, I can tell you in a sec. Actually, he hit one in the first game, so that's, pardon me, his 13th homer of the season, and Baltimore now leads 2-0. Well, here's Murray. Can't pick up the die, please hold. Hoyt deals. There's a 7-17, and Lamar breaks off a nasty slider, and Murray swung, chasing it as it dove away from him. 2 down. Every time Eddie Murray comes up, my wife laughs. She really thinks I'm saying Eddie Murphy. It's pretty funny.
What's the matter?
Every time you have laughed, Eddie Murray has been at bat, and I keep making the joke that you think I'm saying Eddie Murphy. It has happened 4 times in a row now.
Get out of here.
Eddie Murray, wife laugh. And I'm like, it's Eddie Murphy for sure.
That's funny.
This is what happens in real life, folks. Here's John Lowenstein with 2 outs and nobody on. 8:06 in play, and that's going to be a base hit. Lowenstein, a line drive into right field. He'll hold up at first as the throw comes in. He's a 1A stealer. Means he needs a 2, and he can never try again today in this game. So no auto steal for Lowenstein there. Runner on first. Here's Wayne Gross, who is hell against wheelhouse against righties. Well, that's a 10 tough instead of wheelhouse. 36. That's a strikeout for Gross. So Hoyt gets out of trouble, but he does give up the 2-run homer to Ripken. And we head to the bottom of the first. Baltimore with the 2-0 lead. Boddicker on the mound, their best pitcher. And that bodes well, doesn't it? Well, let's find out. Here's Rudy Law, who's got other ideas. 11. The dice tell the tale. 64. That one's grounded to short. Ripken, plenty of time. Over to first for the out. A fan snapping gum in the stands. In an otherwise quiet crowd. I really ought to get some crowd noise going in the background. That'd be pretty cool. Here's Dubinsky. Jerry's his name. He should have been a stand-up comedian. Instead, he's a baseball player. How's that working out for you, Jerry? Well, it's a 3 defense check. 0-1. That's going to be a range on the pitcher. Okay. She left that time without Eddie Murray at bat. Chances are Murray will be involved in the play somehow. 36. Range pitcher, right? That's going to be, hold on, what's his range, damn it? He's a B fielder, is Boddicker. And he'll make the play. Yep. So it'll be a 1-3 to retire Dubzinski. Dubzinski? I don't know how to say that guy's name. I'm going to keep up with Dubinsky and assume the Z is silent. And here's Harold Baines. 6:06, and he's down on strikes. A 1-2-3 inning for Boddicker. We'll head to the second. Baltimore 2, White Sox nothing. Hoyt is ready. He'll deal to Renicky, Sakata, and Dempsey. Renicky, 854 in play. And a grounder down to third. Law is there over to first and plenty of time to retire Renicky for the first out. Here's Sakata. 587. That's a patient. Grounder to short. Dubinsky is there, and Sakata is retired for the second out. I'd like to be retired. Got about a decade left. 885, maybe more. God willing. Dempsey with the grounder to short. A 1-2-3 for Hoyt as he settles down, and we have a ball game as we go to the bottom of the second. Baltimore 2, Chicago nothing. Here's Walker, Kittle, and Lazinski. 7:05 in play, and that's going to be trouble. It's going to get down for extra bases as Walker is in the second with a stand-up double as the throw comes in. Otto steals a 3. He would need Snake Eyes to steal third, or have a chance at stealing third. He rolls a 3, but that's not good enough on second base. Here's Kittle, who's been hot this series. 544, patient. And he continues to be hot. Another 2-base hit for Kittle. And that's going to be an easy RBI for Ronnie. He's just been clutch all day today for me on the stream. And he's going to try to steal a base. He's a 3F. I rolled the 3 for the auto steal, so he's an F. We got to look at the catcher arm. 54 is pretty mediocre and not great for an F, but let's see what Rick Dempsey's arm is rated at. Well, first you have to look at the correct team. I've got things set up a little differently than I usually play. So forgive me if I bumble a little. Well, it's an F3. F3 54 in payoff pitch. Probably doesn't bode well, and it does not. Kittle caught trying to steal third. A little overconfident. He thought he caught Boddicker napping, but Dempsey made a quick snap throw and nailed Kittle. Perfect throw. So here's Lazinski with that with 1 out. 998. That's a fly ball to left. Renicky's there for the second out. And it's Van Slaw. I can't pick up the dice again. 10:06 in play, and that's going to be a line drive. Base hit up the middle. 1 hopper to the center fielder, and Law's on at first with a 2-out single. No steal chance for him. And that'll bring up Joel Skinner, the catcher. Another future Yankee. 7:54 in play. And a grounder down at third. They'll go the long way over to first to retire Skinner, and that's the end of the inning. But they score 1, they leave 2. Oh, no, pardon me, they leave 1 because they were caught stealing. And with that single, it probably would have been 2-2, but instead it's 2-1 Baltimore as we head to the third. Here's Hoyt to face Bunbury. Top of the order, it's Bunbury, Young, and Ripken. Bunbury 1 for 1 with a run scored. He recently bought Payoff pitch 1975, especially since Strat doesn't have it. I haven't picked that up yet. 75 and 76 are next on my list to fill in the blanks. 523. But I really, every time I put Strat back on my tabletop, I immediately get... I enjoy it, but I want to go back to Payoff pitch pretty quick, so I think I'm just going to stick there. Although I didn't get a season ticket, but it's a much more detailed game and doesn't flow as quickly as I would like. Bunbury's on with a walk. He's got a 3 steal chance, no chance. And here's Mike Young. Young flew out to left his first time up. 761. That's a tough pitch. And he fights it off. Lines this one into left center field, and it's going to get down. Bunbury around second on his way to third, and Young ends up at second with a double, so nobody out. Runners on second and third, and they will not pull the infield in. Here's Ripken. They're just going to try to get any one. So the pitch from Hoyt, 3 tough. 15. Ripken down on strikes. Clutch pitching by Hoyt right there. And here's Murray. Tempting to put him on, but it's early in the game. 696 in play, and this is lofted to left field. Kittle is there. And I think Bumbry's going to be fast enough to score. He's not. He's not. So the strong throw comes in. Bumbry holds at third. He's not as young as he used to be. And with 2 outs now, it's second and third for Lowenstein. Lowenstein singled his first time up. 694. That's probably the inning, and it is. Fly ball to right field, and that'll do it. So a leadoff walk followed by a double, and then nobody scores. Great job by Hoyt getting out of trouble there. Am I aware when people browse my blog? I don't look at my blog too often, and I really should take a look at it more. I don't post very often. Just been working too much. I should do a better job over there for sure. Just like I should do a better job here on YouTube. I'm very inconsistent all around due to the demands of my job. So, but right now it's well, the demands of my job are there, and I'm just ignoring them. Don't get me wrong, I'm getting it done. I've been reading the blog, DJ John. I'd like to do more blogging. I really would. Be nice to get on a regular streaming and blogging and even vlogging schedule in 2026. Those would be some of my goals. And to expand what I do here on the channel. Ugly 4-letter word. It is the worst 4-letter word for sure. Well, it's 2-1. Baltimore. Chicago coming up. It's Julio Cruz, the number 9 hitter. 11:38. That's a tough pitch. And a base hit for Cruz. I always see, like, they fight off the pitch when it's a tough resultant payoff pitch. It's one of the things that visually helps me with this game. Steal 4, nothing doing. So Cruz held it first. And here's Law of the Rudy variety, 778. In play. This one is lofted to center. It's not John Shelby, it's Al Bumbry today, and he takes it in for the first out. Here's Dubinsky. The pitch from Boddicker, 495. Ballpark, that's going to be an in-play option. That's a reroll. Die is cocked. 46. Yeah, and that's going to be a grounder down to first. I think this is going to be the old 3-6-3. Double play. So double play gets Boddicker out of trouble. You'd like to start one yourself? You should. You should. What will be the topic? If you like writing, I think blogging is a great way to express yourself. If you don't like writing, it's a terrible way. Here's Wayne Gross leading things off. It's a 12. That's a wheelhouse chance. 37 against a righty. Wayne Gross does what he does against right-handed pitching. He hammers this one. Dave Kingman style into the left field, the right field bleachers. Hoyt hung that one. A little up and in the zone, and Gross didn't miss, and it's 3-1 Baltimore. If you're wondering, Wayne Gross, I don't know if you can see this card, 22 homers against right-handed pitching in 337 at-bats. No homers against left-handed pitching in just 5 at-bats. And here's Renicky. How about a 9-6? That's a tough pitch, and Renicky down on strikes. One away. Here's Sakata. How about a 10-12? And another strikeout. Sakata down swinging. And here's Dempsey. How about an 11-93? Defense check. Error on center is possible. Center fielder is Law. 61. Let's see if it matters. It does. I have to check Law's error rating. Which Law? Rudy Law. He's an E4. So E4 61 is just there for, oh no, sorry. E4, he makes the catch. He makes the catch. But the home run by Gross. And then 3 straight outs. It's 3-1 Baltimore. Come here, Lamar. And here's Boddicker with the bigger lead. He'll face the heart of the order, Baines, Walker, and Kittle. Well, the whole tabletop universe. I wish I was wearing my glasses. Maybe somebody else would enjoy it. Mostly for your own benefit. I think it's good to do for your own benefit. I think that's why I do the streaming. I just enjoy it, you know. Well, Boddicker with a pitch to Baines. It's a 7-16 in play. And a base hit. Leadoff single for Harold Baines. And he's a one. He didn't get on yet. Nope. And here's Walker, who doubled and scored. 434. That's a ballpark wheelhouse chance for Walker. Uh-oh. This could be trouble. 32. This one is hit high and deep to right center field. Going back on it is Mike Young. Forget about it. He stops in his tracks well short of the track. Greg Walker hammered that one, and we've got a tie ball game, folks. Just hammered it. 419 feet away. Boddicker with a first pitch fastball, and Walker was waiting, and it's 3-3. Well, here's Kittle. Nobody's hotter than him right now. 842, a tough pitch. Never mind. He swung for the fences and swung right through a Boddicker off-speed pitch for the first out. Here's Lazinski. 8-11, tough pitch, and down on strikes as well. Boddicker spotting the changeup for the second out. So 2 strikeouts now to try to get out of trouble. Here's Vance Law, 7-38 in play, and this one will be popped up on the infield over his third baseman, Gross. And it's 3-3 after 5. Pardon me, after 4. So White comes out, feeling pretty good. It's all tied up again, brand new ball game. And here's the top of the order for the Orioles. Bunbury, 6-67 in play. Ground ball, shortstop. Over to first, Bunbury's retired by half step. Still got a little quickness out of the box, does Bunbury. Here's Young. 3-0-3, tough pitch, and Young is down on strikes. Second out here in the 5th inning. Hey, DJ, thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate it. Real world does call, doesn't it? We'll see you soon. I appreciate the kind words, man. 5-0-5, patient, and that's a walk. So Ripken is on with a tie ball game. He already rolled for a lead today, so he won't be rolling again because he's only a 1. And here's Murray, 0-for-2. 590, patient. And this one's grounded to short. That should be no problem, and it isn't. So we'll walk, 1 left. Bottom of the 5th, tied up at 3. Starting to lose my voice a little bit. So this will be the last game we stream. I think I was pretty sure of anyway. 5:44 on the pitch from Boddicker is going to be some sort of out. Tapper back to Boddicker. He picks it, takes his time, fires to first to retire Skinner for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's Cruz. It's a 7-92 in play. This one's lofted to left. No problem. And Cruz is down as the second out. And that's going to be 8-74. That's a tough pitch. Fly ball to center field. Bunbury is there. And a 1-2-3 for Boddicker. As he shuts the door, it's 3-3. We head to the 6th. Wait. There's a 7 fatigue, which means he'll be coming out after the 6th. He'll face Lowenstein, Gross, and Renicky. 11:42, a defense check. Error on the first baseman, potentially. Greg Walker. That's not going to be an error. That's going to be a grounder down to first, where Walker takes it himself, 1 away. Here's Gross. Hammered a homer his last time up. He does that against righties if you make a mistake. How about an 883? No mistakes this time. Grounder to second. Gross is retired. 2 down. And Renicky with 2 outs. That's a 10 tough. 48. Grounded to third. Over to first in time to retire Renicky. A 1-2-3 here for Hoyt in the 6th. And that'll be the end of Hoyt's day. So we'll take a quick look at his line. He can only win it if the Sox score in the next inning. Boy, does he need a win to go with those 10 losses. Baltimore, however, would really like to even up this series on the way out the door. So White goes 6. We know he gave up 3 runs. Are they all earned? They are. Oops. Gave the RBIs to the wrong guy there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hits. Walks and Ks 0-1. And 2, 0-3. No walks, 3 Ks for Hoyt. Here's Boddicker for the 6th. To face Dubinsky, Baines, and Walker. 890. That's tough and not much. Grounder to Ripken. Dubinsky's retired, 1 away. Here's Baines, 1 for 2 on the day. It's a 254 tough pitch. And grounded to third for the 2nd out. Here's Walker, who hit that monster homer. He's 2 for 2 today. Double homer, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. This time it's a 999, and that's probably going to be an out. And it is a fly ball 9. So 1, 2, 3 for Boddicker, and we'll have a new pitcher for the White Sox on the 7th. Who will come in to face Sakata? It's going to be Ron Reed. So Ron Reed comes in. Pretty good right-handed reliever. Sakata waits. Leading off the 7th. That's a 779 in play. Fly ball to center field. 1 down. Here's Dempsey. 10-34. Tough pitch, and down on strikes is Dempsey, 2 away. That brings up Bumbry. Bumbry, 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. 5:47. Tough pitch again. This one's grounded down to first. Handled for the 3rd out. So with a tie game 3-3 in the bottom of the 7th, we have a 7th inning stretch. Take a moment if you like. I'm just going to take a sip and rest the vocals. That's good stuff. So all tied at 3, we go to the bottom of the 7th. Boddicker will face the dangerous Kittle, Wazinski, and Long. Here's Kittle. Right-handed batter versus right-handed pitcher. 686. Grounder to short. Ripken, with plenty of time, retires Kittle. First out. First out. He's away. Wazinski 0 for 2. How about a 781? In play. Fly ball center. Wazinski retired. And how about Venti Law? 331. Defense check. Range center. That's Bumbry. 16 is going to be a base hit for sure. 6 is a base hit for Law. So Law is on. Check the auto steal, nothing doing. And here's Joel Skinner. 2 outs, men on 9-0-0. That's a rare play. Patient. Patient 21 on the rare play chart with runners on. Pitcher uncorks a breaking pitches. Bounces before the plate and gets by the catcher for wild pitch. If the wild pitch range ends in 33 or higher, nope. The batter eventually walks. So ultimately it's a walk, but he does get credit for the wild pitch. So what happens? Law advances on the wild pitch, and then Skinner walks. So Boddicker might be getting a little bit tired there. And Cruz is coming up. Did you pinch hit for Cruz here? No, he's an A second baseman, so they're going to hope he gets a clutch hit. 6-0-0. Tough pitch this time. Again, rare play, 91. Rare plays showing up all of a sudden. Humphrey gets the count and calls ball 4, ball 3. Oh my. Batter strikes out on the next pitch. Roll 1d6, so it's a strikeout. The result of the 4, the batter argues with the ump about the pitch count. It's not. So no ejection. He's just going to get struck out when the ump forgot to count. That would never happen today. But here in Payoff Pitch World, it happens. Cruz down on strikes. He doesn't like the call. He thought he had ball 4. And boy, folks, we come back from the break and it turns out Cruz was right. There were 4 balls. But the ump made a mistake. And he got charged with the strikeout instead. So nothing doing there. And that's Boddicker, by the way. So Boddicker goes 7. Hoyt can't win it. Now Boddicker needs his team to come through. If he has a chance at winning it, they have to score here in the 8th. So Boddicker goes 7. 3 runs. All earned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. 1, 2, 3, 1, and 4. 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. The line for Boddicker. And here's Reed in his second inning of work here in the 8th. And it's a Young, Ripken, and Murray do up. 350. Ballpark 50. Either way is a wheelhouse chance for Young. Against a righty, he's a 51. Home run! Mike Young. Clutch homer by Young. And it's 4-3 Baltimore. Big homer by Mike Young. I've forgotten Oriole from this era. Well, there's a 955 Patient. And that's a base hit for Ripken. His second hit of the day. Well, he's on first, and it's Murray now. Well, now Boddicker has a chance of winning it if they can hold the lead. 8:58. Tough pitch. Ground ball down to third. They're going to go 5-4 for the fielder's choice. Murray is on. He's a 2. On the auto steal, that is. Nothing doing. And that'll bring up Lowenstein. Sounds like a beer. Nothing like a Lowenstein. That's a wild pitch to put the runner in scoring position. So Reed resets. 466. Tough pitch. Grounder to short. Murray fast enough to advance to third? He is not. So he'll hold at second on the grounder to short. So runner on second, 2 down now for Wayne Gross, who hit a gross homer back in the 4th inning. 678. At least that's how the pitcher felt. Fly ball to center field, and that'll do it. But the homer by Young puts them ahead. Ron Reed's day is over. He goes 2. He gives up 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run. No walks and 1 K, and he stands to lose it if Chicago cannot come back. It's going to be the top of the order for Chicago, and they're going to face a rested Tippy Martinez. He hasn't pitched since game 1. And he's in for the save, frankly, folks. So here's Rudy Law, lefty on lefty. 7-26. Tough pitch. Down on strikes is Law. Here to lead off the 8th. White Sox trailing by 1. Davinsky coming up. Probably might have pinch hit there. 11:50, but I decided not to. Error on second is possible. Sakata, I don't know what his E rating is. It's not 85, that's for sure. So Sakata will make the play to first for the second out. And Harold Baines coming up. 2 down. Here's Baines. Dangerous, even against lefties. Slightly more power against lefties than righties, actually. 1084. Ballpark, but oh no, that's going to be a wheelhouse chance for Baines. 89 is way too high a roll, and that's going to be a grounder to second. And a 1-2-3 inning here for Martinez. If you're looking ahead, he'll face Walker, Kittle, and Lazinski. No enviable task. But first, the Orioles get another shot at some insurance. It's going to be Agosto. Juan Agosto coming out for his second appearance in this series. So Agosto takes his warm-ups and he'll face Renicky. He dropped the die, found it. 7:44 in play. And that's grounded down to first. Handled, and Renicky is retired. One away here, top of the ninth. Sakata. 11:52, defense 52. Possible error on second baseman Cruz, and it will be. It's an E4, and Sakata reaches. Sakata, an occasional base stealer. He's a 3. Well, a 9 will not do it. And it brings up catcher Dempsey. 8:33. Tough pitch, and a base hit, chopping ground ball up the middle for Dempsey. First and second with one out now. Insurance run in scoring position for Bunbury. And they're going to keep Bunbury in for the defense. 3:27 in play. Nothing doing. Pops it up on the infield. So 2 outs now. And it's the dangerous Mike Young. First and second, 2 down. And a switch hitting Young. It's a 10, patient. 16. And he walks. Young lays off the low pitch. Very careful with him there, and that's going to load the bases. And they have to deal with Ripken now. Ripken 2 hits in 3 tries, including a walk, a homer. 6:15. That's patient. And Ripken with the RBI, base on balls. Gets the insurance run in. Unearned at that due to the E4. And the bases are still loaded for the switch hitting Eddie Murray. What's up, Larry? I'm trying to stream more, Larry. Streaming a lot today. I'm done after this, though. My voice is going. Maybe. 8:14. Tough pitch. And Murray down on strikes. But the error and the clutch walk by Ripken make it 2-3-4-5-3 for Tippy Martinez as he goes to the bottom of the ninth to pitch against 4, 5, and 6 for Chicago, who have been deadly in this series thus far. Greg Walker, Ron Kittle, and Greg Lazinski. A lefty and 2 righties coming up against Tippy Martinez. They'll need a pair to tie it. Baltimore would like Martinez to hold it so they can split this series 2 games apiece. So here's Walker. A double and a homer today. 3:62, patient. And he's plunked. And they don't like it. The Baltimore bench does not like it. They don't think Walker did enough to move out of the way, but here we are anyway, folks. Walker has taken a hit by pitch. No sense in him trying to steal here. Sometimes common sense overrides auto steal. And here's Ron Kittle. 10. Ballpark. 34 wheelhouse for Kittle. The last guy on the team you want to do it to. Versus lefties, 1-73 leaves the park, folks. 53. It's tied. It is tied up. Tippy Martinez tips his cap. He doesn't actually. He throws his cap and glove and watches Kittle round the bases with another homer, his 5th in this series of 4 games. And it is all tied at 5 as we are in the bottom of the ninth, pardon me. And Martinez is fatigued. But they're running out of pitchers. They've got Swaggerty on the bench, and that's it. Everybody else is fatigued by the way I play my games. So Tippy Martinez is going to get the fatigued relief pitcher card out here next to the lineup. And he still has to deal with Lazinski. Hold on. Why I would drop that die right now, I'll never know. But you're going to probably see. Well, actually, I'm just going to move everything. Please hold. All right. Well, that's Martinez having a meeting with the catcher as we move the entire field around. Just please wait a moment while we line things back up. What did they put in Ron Kittle's coffee, ladies and gentlemen? I don't understand. It's wild how good he's been in this series. Of course, now that I moved everything, I got to line things back up again. With nobody out in the bottom of the ninth. Nope, that's too far. Ronnie Kittle ties the game with a 2-run home run after the hit by pitch, and now Martinez, by rule, is fatigued, and they've got to deal with Lazinski. Well, got one replaceable pitcher on the bench. Martinez is going to sit in here and do his best. Oh, Jesus. That's a wheelhouse. Forget it. Gee, no, it's 52, though. Right off the bat, he throws a meatball to Lazinski, but Lazinski gets on top of it and lines it into left field for a base hit. And Lazinski's pretty slow. Probably going to see a pitch runner here. Could be Hairston. They do not have a lot of speed on this bench, I'll tell you that. Oh, it's going to be Darryl Boston. Darryl Boston sneaking in from the Chicago bench as the pinch runner. With nobody out, Boston is on. He's a 5 auto steal. Nope, 7 won't do it. Advanced Law is due up. And will Law bunt him over? That's a really good question. He will not. You know why he won't? That 1-55 homer against lefties. So they're holding him. 979. Patient. Fly ball to center. Actually, Patient, hold on. Patient 79 is in play result. We got to re-roll the percentile dice because he's fatigued. And that's a 0-1. That's trouble. And that's going to be a 2-base hit. So Martinez in deep doo-doo. A double for Law. And now they have to put Skinner on, of all people. They walk Skinner. And they got to go. They actually have to go to Swaggerty. They're going to have to go to Bill Swaggerty. The last mafiosa. Bill Swaggerty is coming in. You just can't do it. Can't leave him out there with that fatigue card with the bases loaded. Too many stupid things can happen. Your best shot here is Swaggerty. So they'll be playing the infield in. And it's Julio Cruz coming up. Infield in, bases are loaded, nobody out. And Chicago trying to walk this one off and win the series 3-1. Cruz, if you're wondering, is 1 for 3 on the day. Swaggerty's done with his warm-up pitches. The pitch. 3-26. Wheelhouse. Right away, wheelhouse. 26. It's a base hit. The game is over. Julio Cruz with a ringing single to score. Darryl Boston, the pinch runner. And the Sox have come back with 3 in the bottom of the 9th against Tippy Martinez and company. All the runs will be charged to Martinez, if you're wondering. And it's a 6-5 win for Chicago. And they win this series 3-1. Well, you could say it's meaningless baseball, folks. These games are These teams were respectively 14 and 21 and a half games out when this series started, and they're probably about the same now. But holy cow, what a series. These teams came out and played some great baseball, some competitive, fun to watch Major League Baseball in the 1984 Community Baseball Replay. What a good time. Well, if you're wondering, if it's not obvious, the loss is going to go to Tippy. And Augusto gets the courtesy victory. He did his job, and his team rallied around him. It's going to be Ron Kittle, the MVP of the series and the game. But Julio Cruz eventually did it with a single, a seeing eye single with the bases loaded, a ringing single, that is, between second and first to end this ball game here in the bottom of the ninth. Final score 6-5. Martinez the loss, Augusto the win. My name is Joe. This has been JC Sports Replays, bringing you 4 games today of the 1984 Community Baseball Replay. All in all, a lot of homers were hit, a lot of fun was had, and thank you for the viewership. Really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the videos, if you like coming to my channel, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. It really helps me out a lot in my quest for eventual monetization and just having a damn good time with this awesome tabletop community. So maybe we'll see you later. I don't know. It's early. Might watch some football. Might play some strap basketball. I don't know what I'll do. I need a little break. But I'll talk to you tonight. Once again, I'm Joe. This is JC Sports Replays for the 1984 Community Baseball Project, saying so long and see you next time. Have fun. Play some games. How do I end the stream, man? I don't know. Where's the button?